This video summary is going to go over the 4 basic math operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. We'll be using Excel 2010 for the demonstration, but these features work in any version of Excel. The first thing to remember when doing simple math formulas is that all formulas actually begin with an equal sign. They don't end with an equal sign, they begin with it. You can think of the equal sign as a way of you telling the program, hey, I want the answer, not just the text. Then we try to use cell references whenever possible. So rather than saying equals 72 plus 2, we're going to click on the A1. Notice the dancing lines moving around A1. Notice the cell reference A1 in the cell as well as on the formula bar. For addition, we use the plus sign, and then in this case click on A2. So the simple formula is equal A1 plus A2. Generally, we want to end our formulas with this check mark so that our cursor remains in the cell where the answer is. That's because more often than not, the next thing we're going to be doing is copying this formula, which will be covered in one of our next lessons. Notice that we see the answer 74 in the cell, but on the formula bar you still see the actual formula equal A1 plus A2. We're going to move over to the cell B3. Again, we begin by placing our cursor where we want the answer and then press equal. This time we're going to do a subtraction formula, so we click on the B1 minus B2 and we end with the check mark, so B1 minus B2 is 70. To demonstrate multiplication, we'll move into C3. Again, we begin by placing our cursor where we want the answer and pressing the equal sign. We're going to click on the 72 so that the dancing lines go around C1 and it enters in the reference C1, both on the formula bar and in the cell. For multiplication, we'll use the asterisk and then click on the other cell, in this case C2, and the check mark. So equal C1 times C2 results in 144. And finally, to demonstrate division, we again place our cursor where we want the answer, start with the equal sign. Remember to click on the cell. We use the slash for division. We click on the cell. So equal D1 divided by D2, and we hit the check mark so that our cursor remains in that cell. Most people easily remember the plus sign for addition and the dash for subtraction, but often forget that it's the asterisk and the slash for multiplication and division. If you should forget, just take a look at the numeric keypad on your keyboard. There are 4 and only 4 symbols on that keypad: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. There are times where we may want to refer to a cell and then perhaps add, subtract, multiply, or divide it by an actual value. For example, this is commonly done when you have something like sales tax and you get your total, but then you just want to take it times 7% in order to figure out the sales tax amount, or a commission rate, for example. So let's say we have the number 1,234, and now I want to, underneath it in F2, calculate 8% of that. So I'm going to go equal F1 times 0.08. I also could have done times 8 with the percent sign, it doesn't matter. I'm going to end with the check mark, and you'll see the result is 98.72. In this case, the formula, shown to me still on the formula bar, is a combination of a cell reference, F1, and an actual value, 0.08.